For the cross is tapped home, and it's the skipper, George Johnson. Saved off the post, and then Alfie May follows up. Lehmann scores in front of the goal. Takes a shot.
Back at the Valley, just 6 games left of the season. Nathan Jones will certainly be wanting to add to that 9-match unbeaten run. Today won't be easy, though, as Stevenage come to town. And even though manager Steve Evans is suspended and won't be on the touchline, his side have made themselves one of the most difficult to play against in the division. Evans' team sit 1 point off the playoff places and will be desperate to take 3 points away from the Valley today. With less than 45 minutes until kick-off, let's take a look at what we got coming up. We'll look at today's League One fixtures to see what impacts the top and bottom of the league table. We'll look back at Charlton women's thrilling 3-1 win over Birmingham City here yesterday. And we'll speak to Curbs and Brownie about what a promotion season really looks like, reflecting on the memories from 1998. Not that we've ever spoken about 1998 before, but we'll do it again, I'm sure.
Me. What happened?
A warm welcome to everybody today around the world, both inside and outside of the UK, as it's a bank holiday. Anyone in the world can stream today, just £10 for the multi-camera production of Charlton TV. Chaps, how are we?
Good.
How was the Blackwall today?
Bad. Just one word for it, bad.
And no Liz, of course, as well. What's happened? Have you demoted him or what? Have you,
No,
you gone to the gaffer and said, put him on the bench?
They wouldn't let him in.
He didn't have footage of his Liverpool hat-trick, is that what it
a
was?
little phone call made. He was too busy. I didn't get enough words in, Tom.
You know, if Brownie doesn't get enough words in, then there is a problem. He gets paid by the word. Let's start with the respective Easter Sundays. How was the weekend since Friday? What did we get up to?
I went up to Nottingham, saw Nottingham Crystal Palace, and it was, so I did that one, and then it was good though because absolutely no traffic, and that can be an absolute nightmare. So it was a good journey and a decent game to watch. To be fair, yeah, I think Nottingham Forest were a bit bother.
Right. See Dean? Was he not there, Dean Kiley?
Oh, CD. I thought you said CD, like.
I said, did you say D?
That's quite up to date about the CD.
What's that got to do with anything?
CD.
Because you normally see Dean to get the inside info.
I saw him warming up the keepers, but I didn't get to speak to him.
Right. No. You normally, oh, Dean, what's going on? Okay.
Kurt, how was your weekend?
Good. Recovering.
Did you get on it?
No, recovering from the 2 weeks in Cancun.
Oh, you're still recovering from that?
Yeah.
Are you back on England time yet?
Yeah, just about.
Yeah. I was at Brentford's Manchester United Saturday. Very
Lucky
good
you didn't
game.
leave early.
Well, can't leave early. I'm talking
Almost
about it.
daylight robbery, wasn't it?
It was the most one-sided 1-1 draw I've seen. And then a barbecue with Argentinian neighbours. The meat was amazing. Pure Spanish.
Yeah. Wine.
Oh, it's not my street.
No, just had a couple of beers actually. Corona. But anyway, very good indeed. Should we get back to today and the football now, shall we? 9 unbeaten coming into today's match. Nathan will obviously be looking for 10, but he'll be wanting a win today, won't he?
Yeah, and also perhaps a little bit, we've said it a few times, perhaps a marker. Stevenage have been thereabouts the last couple of seasons, and they're difficult to play against. You know what you're going to get from them today. And I think it will be a little bit of a marker if we get the result, to say that, you know, they could still get in the playoffs. We've just turned them over and kept the momentum going.
9 unbeaten, but the last couple of games have just been a bit offish, haven't they?
Yeah.
In terms of performances.
In truth, if you look back at the 290 minutes, they were pretty hard to watch and to get through. But you know, like we said in the studio at the time, we've not lost those games, which we perhaps may have done earlier on in the season. So that is a plus. I think we're playing Stevenage at not a bad time actually. I think you know, they've no wins in 6, and although 4 of those are draws, 3 are 0-0. So I think the pressures, you know, it's a good season for them. Whatever. I don't think they're expecting to be in the top 6, and they have been. But I think the pressure's there. They're a point off, and I think the pressure's starting to just mount a little bit. Because it comes with pressure, doesn't it? You know, whether you're expected to be there or not, you get that close, you want to be there. And so I just feel like the pressure's just telling them. So I think it's not a bad time to meet them.
Well, we talk about pressure, and you've already mentioned Steve Evans' touchline ban. Will that affect anything in any way? And did you ever get a touchline ban? I'm sure you told us a story one time about you got sent off.
I got sent off at Southend. I had to go to the ref, I can't remember who it was now, but he sent me off. So I've gone upstairs into the director's box at Southend, and David Webb was their manager, and he said to me, "What are you doing?" I said, "Oh, Dave, the ref." He went, "Come and have a drink." And we went into the little bar there, he poured me a pint, and we watched the game from the bar for about 10 minutes.
Did you want extra time then?
No, this is the first half. For about 10 minutes, and then I had to go back out the front and sit down. But no, I've never really had anything to do like that. I can see why he's had a few bans, and I'm a bit disappointed really he ain't on the dugout, because I wanted to see how Nathan would react with him.
Do you remember him at Bow?
Yeah.
Someone showed that clip this week.
Did they?
That big guy on the sideline. Mouthing off.
I know who'd win it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And 2 games over Easter as well. How did you always look at Easter yourself? And how difficult was that sort of turnaround?
I never thought about mixing and matching or whatever. You know, the team that started the first game, if they got a result or played well, they play the next one. I never thought fitness would come into it. I mean, at the end of the season, the players are okay, mentally may be tired, but I don't see that too much. And if you're going well, everybody just wants to push on, don't they?
Yeah.
You know, no one wants a break, so
absolutely.
no problem.
What about you, Brownie, as a player?
Yeah, I think my argument about, you know, being tired and games coming thing fast, it's the same for everybody. So it's just about your mental approach, isn't it? I mean, I've more often than not got left out for at least one of the two.
There's a little dig there, wasn't it? There's a little dig.
I will leave him out.
But at least he used to get on to get his appearance.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, that's because he was warming up in front of you all the time. That's why.
Get out of the way. I can't see.
You did that at Portsmouth. You actually went to me at Portsmouth. What are you doing? I went, I'm ready to go, Gaffer. We're 2-0 up.
I'm ready to go, Gaffer.
2-0 up. We're 2-0 up. Just put me in front of the back four. Just stick me in there.
I'm going to come out with the old lactic acid one now.
Yeah,
as well.
that's brilliant, that was.
Yeah. First game, Friday, you're okay. For me, the first 20 minutes of the next game, quite soon after, is like you're running in treacle. And then you sort of pick up again, and I wasn't too bad, to be honest with you, after that. But 7 of Nathan's first 10 games been on the road. How much will he be happier being here now?
Well, I think all the managers before him have all said the same thing. The atmosphere here, and we know we're not getting the crowds at the moment, but the away support has been fantastic since Nathan's took over. You know, sold out most games. And he said himself that he can't wait to play here a couple of home games with decent crowd, like Stevenage may bring a few, but a decent crowd just to get the feel of the atmosphere in the place. We keep saying it, we've got to turn this into, not a fortress, but we've got to turn it into where they don't want to come and play.
Yeah.
I think at the moment, over the last couple of seasons, teams have come in and enjoyed themselves. They've walked out on the pitch and gone, this ain't bad.
It's a bit like the third tier Wembley in that sense.
This ain't bad.
Yeah.
Look at the pitch, look at the stadium. Oh, we could upset these. And, you know, we've got to turn that around, because if you're going to win promotion, you've got to win most of your games here.
Yeah. And 4 of the last 6 matches are here.
Yeah.
So
Against
to get a bit of momentum. Yeah.
Yeah. I think in terms of how the last few seasons have gone, it's actually put pressure on players out there. You know, and players that have joined the club, we've said this before, they've been enthusiastic at the start, they've come in the side, and we've sat here as a 3 game, he looks all right, he's done well. And then as the pressure starts to mount, we don't get the results, we're not getting the position in the league that we're holding, the crowd gets frustrated. That has told, I think, on 1 or 2 individuals over the last 2 or 3 years. You need to reverse that. It needs to be a joy to play. And it will be when you start getting results.
I remember a couple of managers saying to me, oh, it was hard enough getting in the ground, you know, like, because the coach comes down the hill and if a car's parked a bit dodgy, you know, it's hard enough getting in the ground, and, you know, and then once you went out for the match, that was hard as well. I don't think they're getting that at the moment. No. It's not so difficult getting in the ground. And to play here, we've got to turn this around.
It's not so difficult nicking points and certainly scoring goals. One clean sheet.
Nathan will know that. We've got to turn it around. Yeah. And if we can end the season with a bit of momentum, 2 things. Firstly, we may be more attractive for players in the summer. And also, give him a bit of a lift that, OK, if I can just bring a couple of the players I really want, we can push on.
Yeah. OK, well, let's have a look at the team that Nathan has picked for today's game then, shall we? And I've got it here. Romani, Edmonds, Green and Frele Dapo will both start. And that's as Nathan Jones makes 2 changes from the 1-1 draw against Exeter Friday. Macaulay, Gillespie and Croy Anderson drop to the bench. Kazenga Loire also returns to the bench as well. So he's made just 3 changes to the starting lineup in the last 6 matches. What do you think, Brownie?
Yeah, I think Anderson's not. He's been left out completely.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. So and he looked tired. That was the thing I would say about Friday. You know, and he's done exceptionally well coming into the side under Nathan. And I just felt like with the international travelling that he had to do, it was just 1 game too many. I can fully understand why that. I mean, that's a full-on rest, isn't it? Rest up, fella. You've done a good job for me. And sort of makes us a little bit more potent in terms of goals scored or goals on the pitch in terms of forward areas. You know, although the Dapo hasn't scored too many. He is due a goal. So I quite like look at that formation. Fully understand why Anderson's been left out completely, and I'm guessing the other change at the back is again similar. You know, in terms of Gillespie, he's had his injury problems. He's come here. He's gone in the side. I think maybe that's a game too many today. So that's why he's been left out as well.
And Alfie playing as a number 10, Curbs?
Well, yeah. I mean, you look at. I think that Nathan likes Ladapo and Kanu because of the pace, the power, the legs, and you know, Alfie going in that position. I think he can adapt. I think that's a decent position for him. If we're struggling, he'll drop off and help out. He's honest in that way, and turn into an out-and-out midfield player. But if it looks as if the ball's going in the box, he will get in there and make that extra man. Make no doubt about that. So I quite like that front 3. Yeah. I must admit. Coventry and Dobson holding perhaps a defensive partnership there in the middle of the park, and just hope the wing backs can get forward.
Just on Croy, actually, we've had a WhatsApp already from David Doyle. Good morning from an overcast Grenada, not Granada, Scott. Yeah, Grenada, David. So, but still a pleasant 29 degrees. David, come on.
I thought he was in here when I see you used to with his little short sleeve shirts on.
We're trying to think it's summer. That's what it is. And he says, notice Anderson not in the squad. Do you think Nathan's giving him a well-deserved break? And that's what it is, isn't it? Because clearly he's a massive talent, but just the last couple of games he's fallen away, and he's still getting used to men's football, really, isn't he?
Absolutely. And I think what stood out actually in the next game was how many times he gave the ball away, which just suggests you're just fatigued. You know, your brain's not just getting the messages down to your foot quick enough.
He played him after the Jamaica thing. And saved him for today,
so,
really.
Yeah, you would have thought, you know, logically, it would have been the other way around, but it wasn't, and he did look tired, and you can understand now why the rest has come. But yeah, he just looked off the pace, just couldn't do what his brain wanted him to do.
David, we're not going to feel bad for you, the fact it's overcast, it's 29 degrees, enjoy it out there. And yes, obviously I'm not saying it properly, Grenada, not Granada. Well, it was a good day at the Valley here yesterday as Charlton women hosted promotion rivals Birmingham. Let's take a look.
Is Heron for Birmingham. Lovely ball in. What a save from Gray. Long. Oh, and this time Gray can't get there. And I think it was Heron who knocked it in. Well, the officials here feel that Jess Gray was unfairly impeded. The goal's been chalked out. It won't stand. Well, did a Birmingham body impede Jess Gray? I'm not sure it did. And it's given away by Moyer. Moyer's got there and knocks it home. A disaster for Lucy Thomas. But Karen Moyer was alert to the possibilities. Dispossessed Thomas and just rolls it home. The corner comes in, it's headed down by Aisi and into the back of the net for Charlton's second of the afternoon. Well, Frida Aisi claims it. It may have come off a Birmingham body, but she climbs high and glanced it home. Can Birmingham half the deficit? Walker tries to turn and Dow does really well, but the clearance isn't the best, in fact. As it dropped to Holloway, Devlin whisks it in, and the shot comes in from Ag. Oh, not far away at all. Holloway with the deep, deep cross. Gray climbs and doesn't get much of a punch on it. Oh, and it dropped to Walker, and her effort is cleared off the line by Skeels. Moore tries to weave through, and the referee's given a penalty. Jade Moore was caught between two Charlton bodies. Lucy Quinn up against Jessica Gray, and Quinn arrows it home. Gray got a touch to it, but there was too much power on the shot from Lucy Quinn. Rowe. Phillips with the shot off the bar. Oh, Mel Phillips so close to Charlton's third of the afternoon. Moore, who won the penalty, with which Quinn reduced the arrears for Birmingham. They failed to add to it since that 79th minute goal, and Thomas is going to be caught out, and it's gone in off the post by Kate Longhurst. Well, didn't she take that well? An exquisite shot to see the opportunity.
Well, Brandon, that was a huge result for the women's side yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, massive. I said it last week. Didn't deserve to lose on the previous Sunday. So great to bounce back with a victory, because it is really tight at the top, and we can't really afford to drop any more points. We've got a couple of tough games coming up against I think 2 of the top 3. So, yeah, important that we won that one. Birmingham on a little resurgence as well. So it was a good result.
3 games remaining, Curbs. Can we do it?
I think we can. I think that, you know, are the games here? Or
the last one is.
The last one is, okay, yeah, that could be interesting then. Hopefully get a good crowd. Yeah. Against who? Yeah, well, they're up there, aren't they?
Yeah, and I think Sunderland's in there as well. Yeah. They've got Sunderland as well, so it's 2 tough ones.
Yeah, absolutely. Can we have a look at that Kate Longhurst goal again?
What was really good about it, it's the post as well, doesn't it?
I know.
So the goalie thinks, I've got half a chance here. I've got half a chance. Oh, no, I ain't. Eh?
Yeah, she's
come on, Brownie, defending.
Bad day at the office, the keeper.
Caught on a back pass, didn't she?
Yeah, caught in the middle of the 6-yard box for the opening goal, giving that one away for the 3rd goal. Yeah. Long journey out to Birmingham, though.
Can you imagine Paul Curbs?
Can you imagine being on the bus, getting on the bus after the game, and he's sat there in his little chair and you can't even look him in the eye?
Listen, very, very good win that from the women's side. And Kate, what a wonderful goal, great technique, I have to say. Charlton back here at the Valley on the final day of the season against Southampton, April the 28th, in what could be a huge game. Make sure you get your tickets if you possibly can through the Charlton website. OK, on to some updates then, and the men's first team tickets are now on sale, with supporters able to maximise savings by purchasing at Phase 1 pricing before 11:59 p.m. on Friday, May the 10th. Adult season tickets are available from as little as £310, which equates to just £13.48 per match, making them one of the most affordable in Sky Bet League One. A big event for all the family is coming up on Wednesday between 12 and 4 here at the Valley. A free family fun day is set to run in the West Stand car park at the Valley, with local vendors on site as part of the food and drink offering. The event is open to all, with no registration required. Bring all your family to meet the men's and women's first team and enjoy a variety of activities, including face painting, mini football games and a fun fair attractions. Curbs, you going to take Freddie today or what?
Well, he's here today.
Is he?
Yeah, he's here today, and I persuaded him not to put his Declan Rice shirt on and his West Ham one on, and he's come here. He's come here full of enthusiasm. So let's hope we get a right good performance and a good result, and we might snatch another fan from the other side.
Absolutely, let's hope that's the case. But Wednesday here at the Valley between 12 and 4, it'll be a lot of fun meeting the men's and women's side as well. Now, should we have a bit of fun?
Always.
I don't know the way you're looking.
Even more fun. You know what's coming. As this season draws to a close, we all know what the aim is for next season. So we're going to use the next few games to see if we can learn about previous Charlton promotions of the past. Shame we haven't got anyone really to talk about who's experienced Charlton promotions, but we have 2 people who've experienced 2 Charlton promotions. So let's go back to. Got to do the 97-98 season, haven't we? But we're not going to look at the final. We're not going to look at that tackle. All right.
Well, that's disappointing.
Very disappointing.
We're going to watch it. What we're going to look at?
We're actually going to go back to the beginning and see how it was all constructed, because
You'll have to remind me.
I will.
Okay.
16th the previous season.
Right.
So that summer, what was the thinking? What was the setup?
I think I remember. Roger Orwin's here today, actually, isn't he? Roger Orwin.
Yeah.
I remember Roger coming up to me after an away game somewhere, and he said, "I'd just like to let you know, the natives are getting a little bit restless."
Is that his way of saying you're under pressure?
So I said, "Well, yeah, I can understand that." But so we've gone into the summer. Was it when we signed Clive?
Yes.
Yeah. So. I sat down with Richard Murray and the board and everybody else. I said, look, we need to do something. And I think they gave us £1 million. So Matty Holmes and I think it was Matty Holmes and Clive, Mark Bowen, yeah, and Brighty was already here, was he? But a couple of experienced players as well. I think Brighty and Mark come on frees. Got Matty Holmes, who's obviously a West Ham boy, and he was up north somewhere, not playing, and Clive. But you know, Clive was the first one. And I always remember something happened. Richard was trying to contact me. I don't know why I was on the missing list. Might have been playing golf or something. I don't know. I know I was with
probably Cancun.
No, I was with Les Reed somewhere. We was doing something, and he kept and the last message was, if you effing want to sign Clive Mendonca, phone me back, because he was doing the negotiating with Grimsby, and you know, he wanted to pass it all by me, and so I phoned him back, and he said Clive's coming down tomorrow. You know, here's his phone number, sort it or whatever. You know, so I phoned Clive, met him at King's Cross, and that was it.
Do you know what? I want you to tell the story about Clive in just a minute, but Brownie, I will get you in 16th in the previous season. Were you expecting lots of changes? Did you get a tap on the shoulder to say, it's another 1 year, but can't do anymore?
It was another 1 year. What year? 98? 98.
No, 97. Well, it was 97 at the time.
Yeah, another 1 year, yeah. No, I think we were fully aware that up to that point, I think it's fair to say we didn't have a lot of money, so he kind of was a shoo-in. And then it started spending some money, and you're like, oh no,
well,
this could be.
It's why I left.
Yeah, this could be a bit of bother. You know.
Yeah. But I think that, you know, some of the money was coming in. Instead of it going on the stadium, it was now being earmarked for the team.
Which hadn't been the case. He was offloading just to survive. And now you're seeing additions. So you're thinking what was quite a comfortable 1 year.
To be fair,
actually signing players for money.
To be fair, you know, obviously when I played, players were coming in. But when Clive came in, what did the rest of the boys think? Because obviously centre forwards weren't happy, but you know, we brought someone in who'd always terrorised us. I thought
that was what was being said.
Right, for good money as well.
Yeah,
for Charlton.
750.
So that was the first thing. We're spending money, which means that was the first time we've been in position to spend money. Second thing was everybody after every time we played Grimsby went, he'd be a hell of a signing. So then when you actually see that guy come through the door or get signed, you are like, okay, this could be the start of something. And it does. I don't care what anyone says. When you get a couple of marquee signings, it elevates the entire building. So there's a freshness to when you walk in. You've had not a great year, 16th in the Championship. You come back through, and what we were notorious for was drawing games. And what that sort of we were hoping was going to give us the ability to turn that draw into a win, which it actually went on and did. We won a lot more games by the odd goal with Clive in the side, because he did finish off a lot of good moves. But yeah, it was the turning point, I think. You know, the squad slowly got better. Like after we offloaded yourself and Robert, and there was a little dip, and we were relying on, with all due respect, your Chandlers, your Linglers, your Sturgises and all that, then there was an upturn. But that right there in 97 was the upturn.
Bo and Brighty, two very experienced players.
Brighty came a year before that.
But having them two, I think, for us, I remember meeting Bo, and I nearly walked past him because he'd been in Japan, and he lost so much weight. I thought, what, blimey. But, you know, we had two vastly experienced players. We had youngsters, and we had a really hardcore in the middle. And, you know, so, you know, I always felt if the boys went out to train and me and Les never came out, they'd have got on with it. Do you know what I mean? That was the sort. Someone would have gone, right, this is what we're doing, and they were trained. You know,
it's good dressing rooms.
It was a good dressing room.
They're led by the players.
Yeah,
it's the manager's job to get those characters in. Tell us the story about Clive. He's quiet as a mouse during London, then through Essex.
Well, what was it? Alan, can't remember the Grimsby manager. Alan Buckley was a Grimsby manager, and he just took over or whatever. And he really didn't want Clive to go. And Clive's coming down to London. I don't think he really wanted to come to London. Clive just wanted to go from Grimsby. And I met him at King's Cross Station, and he's come out, and I was across the road because it was Sunday morning or something. So I've called him over, and he's come. I'm hoping he ain't going to get knocked over as he's coming across the road. So he's come across. We got in the car, and he had a medical in Woodford, which is over in Essex. But we had a bit of time to kill. So I'm trying to explain where Charlton is in terms of London and everything else. I'm trying to explain the the Blackwall Tunnel and the Dartford Tunnel, and I'm also driving around showing him Big Ben, Nelson's statue, but he ain't saying a word to me, and I'm thinking, is he really, and he kept looking at the phone, is he really interested in signing? Is there someone else out there that he's come to see us, get an offer from us, and then take that back to whoever else fancies him? So I'm thinking all these sort of things, he ain't saying nothing. So when we're getting near Woodford, we had a bit of time to kill, so I said to him, right, we're going to pop through Chigwell, and then we'll stop there and have something to eat, because we've got a bit of time before we go to the medical. I always want to get the medicals done first before you even spoke money, you know, because you can agree the contract and then the player fails the medical, and it's, you know, get the medical done first. Yeah. Anyway, so we're driving through Chigwell, and I said, oh, right. I said, Clive, you could live here if you wanted, but you really got to be a Premier League player if you want to live here. But this is where the West Ham boys and the Spurs boys live. And if you live here, you're now going to have to travel through that Blackwall Tunnel and whatever. And he never said a word to me. And then he suddenly come out and said, Chigwell? Chigwell? Sharon and Tracy live in Chigwell. Birds of a feather.
Birds of a feather.
And I went, yeah, you're right, Clive. Anyway, we got him, he had his medical, but he was petrified of Buckley phoning him. And I know he kept looking at his phone, because Alan Buckley was trying to stop the move. Anyway, he signed for us, and, you know, that was the start of it all.
Brilliant. Quiet as a mouse through London. As soon as he got to Chigwell,
yeah,
birds of a feather.
Yeah, he wanted to have a chat.
Classic. But he did make the difference, didn't he? In a team that...
Just the pre-season he made a difference, didn't he? The way he came in, conducted himself and everything.
Yeah, he had as big an impact as I think Mark Kinsler had. So Mark we had on trial for 2 weeks. And in this 2 weeks, it's 2 weeks of pre-season, right? Because we were notoriously stingy with our transfer market money, Kins came down from Colchester and had 2 weeks on trial. And the first game, everyone's going, we've got to sign this kid. He was unbelievable. And then it went on for a week, and there was another game, he was unbelievable in the next game. And they're like, what's the delay here? But the delay's always finances, always is. He was as important. They were both very important.
Getting directors to put some money in.
Yeah.
You know, so, yeah, you're right. I think that Kins and Clive, at that time, that was just like the spine, really.
Mike Bowen and Matty Holmes also joined.
Yep. Trouble with Matty is the nicest player you'll ever meet in your life. I've never met a nicer fella, and it was just horrible what happened to him. Mark Bowen and Brighty were the two very, very experienced players. I think Bow was like around 33, 34, Brighty was up 36. Completely different characters, both vastly experienced, one very quiet, methodical, would talk to you on your shoulder. The other one, the other one would shout at you from 60 yards away, tell you how rubbish you were, you know, etc., etc. But, you know, once he'd sort of bashed you into the ground, he'd come and pick you up, and just wanted the best. That was Mark's mentality. Yeah. I want the best, so I'm gonna drag you along as being the best with me. Whereas Bow was just a lot more like arm around the shoulder. So the story of Bowen was I was not on a penalty. When Leslie come to us, you know, at the final whistle, and he said, "I need one more," and I'd missed a couple previously, and I'd only been on sort of 20 minutes, and I was
made a tackle.
Well, you made, well,
I don't like to talk about it.
You made that tackle, not just a tackle. That tackle.
About it, right? And he went, He said, Brownie, I need you to take one. So I said, all right. He said, you're on 5. And I went, I'm not taking 5, Les. Yeah, I'm not taking 5. I ain't taking a penalty for 3 years, 4 years, or whatever it was. And that's when Bo comes over. I'll take 5. You take 2. You know, and that's what Mark Bowen brings.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, class guy, good player. Let's have a look at some footage from that season, shall we? We'll start off at what was the loss with Middlesbrough for the game against Oxford. That was the first home game of the season, and an immediate impact at the Valley, I have to say, from Clive, which you must have been happy to see.
Yeah, I mean, when you sign someone, you want them to get off and running, and I think it wasn't just his goals; it was his build-up play. We could knock if he was a midfield player, you could knock a ball into him and know it's going to stick, and you'll run off him and take a gamble. And you know, he could shoot with both feet, and you know, once he got a chance, you expected it to go in. You didn't think he was going to miss.
He could do that skill both sides as well. That's what made it quite, you know, hard to defend. He could take that cut back and chop back on both sides.
So go back to 2-1. And then...
You've got Keithy Jones in there as well, which everyone seems
Who's
to
this
forget.
young lad who scores here?
Yeah, Notes, is it? Notes?
Liz.
Oh, is it Liz?
Stop it.
Was it?
So what it's got down here is Liz.
Yeah. What's he doing over there?
It's a decent strike as well. We've got his best strike of his entire career.
Nah, the Liverpool bender.
Yeah, it's up there. Up until the Liverpool game, anyway. And look, yeah, I mean, he's not the best at defending in terms of this goal. I think it's fair to say, absolutely.
Andy Pettersson, yeah.
Something that needed working on, Curbs, later on in the season. There was a great run of clean sheets, wasn't there?
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, we brought Sasha in, didn't we, with a couple of months to go. And that's his own story.
Go on.
No, you know what's coming, don't you? Oh, running clean sheets, yeah, we brought a better right back in. Yeah, well done.
I don't know what you're talking about. Let's move on. 0-0 draw at Bury before a run of 5 wins in 7, with Clive Mendonca scoring 6 goals, including a hat-trick at Norwich and a brace at home to Bradford. Stevie Brownie, 2 goals in that run as well.
No idea.
Only 2 league goals of the season, so we had to dig out highlights. We could only dig out highlights of one of them.
Was it Bradford?
So was it the 40-yard screamer against Bradford, or was it the header against Huddersfield?
He hopes it's the screamer.
Let's take a look.
Well, they're both exceptional finishes, to be honest.
I mean, what I would say, it's the very good away win at Huddersfield, 3-0, isn't it?
No, well done.
Yeah, it was. Is that the one we went up by train, Curbs? There was one game away at Huddersfield one year. You just went, I've had enough of going up. We went up by train.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was the one.
How about this one here?
Yeah, just got across my man. I remember it. Yeah.
50p piece head, that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who that was defending, but he hadn't been in the gym like I had that season.
Look at
Upper body strength was far superior.
And Curbs, at this point, the team are flying. Mendonca's scoring, Robinson's scoring, even Stevie Brownie's scoring.
And we had a real settled team, I think.
Yeah. Did you think that the title, automatic promotion?
No, because you know that the position we was in, that someone could come and nick a player. You know, you're thinking that injuries, whatever. But as momentum was building, so was the belief in the boardroom and the directors, and there was a feeling that if we did get a real proper setback, we could do something about it. So I was always just on the lookout, waiting to see if anything might happen, or could I improve it? Could I do something when the window opened up?
So the natives weren't getting restless at that point then?
No, they were the
happy.
year before.
Kept the Wolves in the door. After that run, the goals slowed. 4 draws in 5 matches. Then late November and early December, we lost 3 in 5 as we wobbled a bit. Do you remember much about that period?
No, I erased that bit.
No?
No idea.
Isn't it funny how you have a really good season? Yeah. Obviously, there's ups and downs in every season, but you forget the downs.
Well, when you're having a bad time, you've got to arrest it somehow.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you said like 3 games, because you know it can go on, can't it? That you go like 6 or 7 or 8 games without getting a result.
Yeah. 4 draws in 5, and then 3 losses in 5 as well.
3 and 5.
That's what it's got here.
Yeah, we only lost 10 the whole season, though, I think. If playoff year, I think we only lost 10 the whole season, I think.
Yeah, but then we went on
Still possible.
Went on a bit of a run, though, didn't we?
What it means is
=
you've spaced the others out. I would say if you've lost 3 and 5, you've managed to space, which is a sign of not a bad side.
We haven't got time to go through the whole season. And look
Go
at it. If you want to, you can. It's no problem. The remainder of December and early January, Charlton won 6 of 7. And then it was a really strong finish to the season. And Curbs, while the team was doing well, it was still important to add to the squad. And this is where Danny Mills had the amazing impact, didn't he? Amazing impact.
No, what happened was, I think there was an England Football League 11 versus Italy Football League 11. And the FA asked me and Les to run the game was here at the Valley. So, yeah, it's well documented. We had Mills in here recently, and, you know, I actually got a chance to see some of these players up. I picked the squad, so I actually had a chance to be right up close to him and see him. And Millsy wasn't playing for Norwich at the time, and so I phoned the manager up, like while we was training, and said, you know, what's the situation with Millsy? And because it's 300,000 or something like that, I went to Richard Moore and said, look, we can do this. We can bring him in. moved Brownie about and put him.
He'll be happy.
Yeah.
He'll
No,
be happy.
but it made the squad
as long as he gets
stronger.
his bonus.
No, it made the squad stronger because Millsy could come in on the right hand side. Brownie can go centre half or midfield or as a free.
Or in goal.
Or in goal. So you know, and I also, you know, had one eye on what if we did go up and etc. And he was young, so yeah. So we went for Millsy, and I think Yardley, wasn't it? Yardley.
Yeah. They're not another. Did you not? Oh, Heaney on loan. Was that Heaney on loan at the same time?
Yeah,
or you've done that already?
And Sasha.
Neil Heaney, good lads.
And Sasha had just come in. You know, he walked into the training. Everybody knows. He just walked up in the training ground one day with a carrier bag with his boots in it, and said to the boy at the door, "I want a trial. Who have I got to talk to?"
That's mental.
And
that's crazy.
like Charlton, they went, "Oh, just walk round there." He goes, and so I got a phone call from downstairs saying, "Look, there's this guy here and he wants a trial." So I thought, "Oh, I better go down there." And it was Sasha, and I went.
So what month was this?
Maybe about
what part of the season?
January, February, because
sure.
the transfer window went into March.
Yeah,
So it's probably about early March, something like that. Because then he's come in and he's trained for a couple of days, and we're looking at it, whatever, and then we decided to do it, and the rest is history on that. Because Andy Petterson had a bit of a wobble. I think Samsey wasn't doing so well, was out, and he got put in, and then suddenly the clean sheet happened.
That's just the craziest, one of the craziest stories in football. He turns up knocking on the door, and 3 months later he makes the save that takes Charlton up.
Yeah.
He was playing for
Selco or something.
Stamco.
Oh,
Stamco, I think, and it was in Eastbourne, and the name of the team was It's a building company. And
Selco.
Was it? I thought it was Stamco.
No, Selco.
But he just playing for them. Someone, I'm sure, I don't know how it happened, but yeah, he just got him or just turned up. And he did all right actually.
Yeah.
Real fairness to him. When in the trials you're going, ooh. You know, and he spoke about 7 languages, which I think helps you further down the line a couple of years later.
Did he speak Cockney? Let's have a look at another game, shall we? It was Charlton 5, West Brom 0. A very good, well-worked free kick from Mark Kinsella as well. But at this point in March, you're keeping a clean sheet. You're scoring 5 against a team like West Brom. It's all good, isn't it?
Yeah, and we had so many different areas to attack, like Newts one side, Robbo the other. Midfield was solid. We had Clive up top, who we knew would nick a goal. Yeah. Big result, 5-0, wasn't it, against West Brom?
Yeah, and I will say this, we were athletic as well. Extremely athletic. Jones and Keithy Jones and Mark Kinsella in midfield, Newts on the right, Robinson on the left. You will not get, in my opinion, a harder working midfield. You just won't. That midfield 4 there could cover serious ground.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And at that point, mentally, you're thinking, you're in the zone then, aren't you? Some people say, how do you get in the zone? You don't really know how you're in it, and then you easily get out of it. But once you're in it, it's brilliant.
It was bubbling.
Yeah.
We knew we had a chance.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of those free kicks you can only do once.
Yes.
It is, because once everyone sees it, that's it. It's done. Everybody knows what's coming. But, yeah. I mean, at this point, we're on a roll. Yeah. Absolute roll. There's a confidence in the building. Because, again, you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, but it's the first time we've added a bit of serious quality. In March, in March. And again, it was, you bring in Clive in the summer, which is a huge turning point in terms of finances available to your manager, and then in March you back it up again with another. I think Yardley was 550. I know Millsy turns into a brilliant purchase in terms of the turnaround in the season. You get like 4 million for him, but there's another million nearly there given to the manager at a time when he'd always been selling to survive.
Yeah. From Stu on the WhatsApp, one of the best goalkeeping performances ever by Sasha up at Birmingham, last game of the season, absolutely immense. Remember that? Is that from Stu or from Sasha himself?
I think Birmingham needed to get a point to stay up as well. It was a real big game, I think.
He had one game, I don't know what game it was, but he did have one game where the entire clean sheet was pretty much on him. But the rest of them, I promise you, my recollection is he didn't have massive amounts to do in that running.
Yeah.
But there was one game he was outstanding.
From Stuart, it's St Leonard, Stamford, where Sasha came from in the Dr. Martins League.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we finished 4th that year, 3 points behind Middlesbrough, who went up automatically. Do you think we should have gone straight up? Or?
Yeah, because I think the points total, most seasons would have took you up as top two. But our points total and Sunderland's points total, would have guaranteed your promotion most years.
88 points, weren't we? Which was a hefty old total. Like you said, I think Sunderland, did they get more than us, Sunderland? They finished on 90 points, I think. And it was 91 and whatever above that.
It was Forest and Middlesbrough, wasn't it?
Yeah, and actually, it was an incredible. When you think about 4 sides have all got enough points that in 13 the previous 15 seasons
maybe a bit
gets
like
them
this
up.
year. It looks very similar to this year, isn't it?
Yeah, look what's happened to Leicester right now as well. So how confident were you in the playoffs?
Well, I was very confident in the team that Curbs was putting out.
in Danny Mills.
He'd done so well. Honestly, I didn't even have to get on the pitch most weeks to just it was so far ahead.
But on a serious note, though, we make fun of him. How important is it to have a Brownie there?
Absolutely.
Who, when he comes on, does a great job, but is also, doesn't throw his toys out the pram.
Especially when he knows his place.
Still do.
No. You've got to have that squad, and also if players are not doing it, you know that you can put someone in and you're going to get a performance.
Yeah.
So that squad we had at the time. I mean, I remember going to Ipswich for the semi-final, really feeling confident. All during the running, you think, no, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. But the playoffs, I was really confident of the Ipswich one.
They did something that week as a group of players as well. They did an article and we weren't really.
Ipswich?
Yeah, they put an article out going of the 3 other sides in the playoff positions. This is the one we'd want to play. And they like released that article 2 days before the game. And I remember reading. I remember the whole squad was aware of that.
Well, Phil, the director, is an Ipswich fan. He was sat just outside here for that. You don't remember that, Phil, do you? That sort of newspaper article? No, he doesn't. So.